Plant down King Creek. They go down as far as they can in order to get as much head as possible to generate as much electricity as possible. There's two 4-inch pipes that are up here just after the outlet of Castle Lake that pick up the water, take it down there, runs it through the Pelton wheel, drives the generator, and it's a 12 kilowatt generator. Down there, everything to do with generating electricity is down in that building. And if you went in there right now, it would be like 16, 17 degrees Celsius. It's quite warm. It's just from the friction of the equipment. It's quite a pleasant place. It's got lights, well insulated. So we can leave this book upstairs if you want to take a look at it before you take off. Down there as well, there's this little stainless steel canister. It's got a half a dozen hot water tank elements in it. So if there's too much electricity being generated versus what's being consumed up here, a hot water tank element comes on and burns 3,000 watts. If there's still too much, another hot water tank element comes on. So it just heats the water that's going through the system. They're not on very much at this time of year. So down there, there's these two transformers. It bumps the power up from 240 to 480. And then it can bring it up to the hut here, and there's a little wee line. The higher the voltages, the easier it is to transfer the power. Up here, these two transformers reduce it from 480 to 240, and then it's further separated out to 240 and 110. Everything that's up in this room has to do with consumption. There's nothing up here that tells us about what's being made down below. This amperage meter tells us how much we're using right now. I know we're making about 90 amps down there, and right now we're consuming 75 amps, just with what we got going. We got probably hot water tanks, electric wallboard heaters, and whatever's plugged into the outlets, and of course the lights. And then there's this thing called this load management panel. So it evaluates how much electricity is available, and if there's enough, everything can go on. If there's not, the first thing it turns out is one of two hot water tanks. That one hot water tank just feeds the second one, which is the one we're using. So if we got lots of electricity, it's getting preheated water. The next one is the heaters on the loft floor. It's really well thought out. It's prioritized things, so we don't really even miss what's being turned off, because the heat from down here is just rising, and it keeps the loft warm enough that you're probably too warm anyways, and opening up the windows to vent some heat. And then it goes, so these 6 in between, the middle steps, are all heaters. And it works from the top floor down to the drawing room. And then the last step here, number 8, is the second hot water tank. And if that one went out, all of these 8 steps are out, we wouldn't have any hot water. The 9th step is in the other room. That's the potable water pumps. So once all these 8 have gone out, the load management on the potable water pumps, there's 2 pumps out in Castle Lake, sense for available electricity. If there's not enough, it won't allow them to try to come on. And then we know we got to do something, cut back somewhere, because at the very least, we want water coming out of the taps. We'd like one hot water tank, and we would like the heater down here in the drying room. And then we'd turn on the 2 gas fireplaces, and it usually stays warm. It does get quite low in the middle of winter. As the winter snowpack locks up all the tributaries, the creek volume gets lower and lower, creek level. So we adjust it every day. There's a little valve that hits that Pelton wheel, and as there's less water, we tighten it up. It makes a nice hard squirt at the Pelton wheel instead of a slosh. Yeah, it got turned on in 2002. It runs flawlessly. It's an amazing thing. 365 days a year.
Any problems with it freezing up or the water pumps freezing up?
Never. So we do have the lines heated from the water pumps in the lake to the hut. Just to be safe, especially in November, early December, when there might not be adequate snow yet.
Yeah.
And we got, say, really extremes, like -30, -35.
Yeah.
There is no heaters on this. The lines that go down to the generator, but we keep lots of water running through them. Yeah.